Hey everyone, and thanks for jumping back into the cryptoverse. Today we're going to talk about Ethereum, mainly the Ethereum Bitcoin ratio, because I get a lot of requests to see updated analysis on this ratio almost daily. So we're going to talk about that in this video with a little bit of discussion on its valuation with respect to fiat. So if you guys like the content, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Would love to have you join. I'm excited that we hit 20,000 members or subscribers to the channel, so I appreciate every one of you guys for joining. It means a lot that I can grow the channel and see people appreciate the point of view that I provide of the cryptocurrency market, so I appreciate it. So if you guys like the content, again, if you want to talk about this stuff, then check out my Telegram channel. You can see it up here in the upper right hand corner, and maybe I'll post a few of these charts in that Telegram channel if you guys want, and you guys can discuss them there. And then finally, you can also check out the premium content at my website, intothecryptoverse.com. So we're going to start with just a simple chart, and this is nothing more than the Ethereum Bitcoin ratio. And normally, we color it based on the 20-week moving average, but here we're just coloring it just white for the entire price point, so that we can just look at the price in terms of our fractal that we like to look at. And remember, if you haven't followed this before, we essentially have our cooling down phase, our green light, our first peak, our second peak, kind of our last gas cooling down, and then our green light, our buy region. And then again, our first peak, our second peak, our last gas, and then our buy region. This is our fractal for Ethereum Bitcoin. And we know that as we continue to march through this cycle, then seeing these types of moves will take longer and longer. I mean, again, maybe we're going to kick the can down the road and we just move sideways for a while. We don't know how long this is going to take, but we know that if we just stay resolute with our long-term planning of Ethereum, then based off historical data, not that it necessarily means anything, but we can use it to inform our decisions, then we know that we're taking a calculated risk, and whatever comes from that is not luck. It was just a calculated risk that either paid off or it didn't pay off. So again, I like to tell people, if in 2023 or something you see a $10,000 Ethereum or Ether, and your friends are coming out of the woodworks asking you, "Oh, you're a genius for buying it at $200." Or they say you're lucky. You're not lucky. It was a calculated risk and it paid off. So keep this fractal in mind, because it's really not hard to imagine a move in the short term with Ethereum. I think it is undervalued still, and as long as Bitcoin stays above the 20-week, and even more so if it stays above the 20 and the 50-week, then I think an Ethereum breakout could be coming. And we've already seen it. I mean, it was $200 yesterday, and then now it's $220 today. So keep an eye on Bitcoin. As long as Bitcoin stays healthy and just keeps doing its thing and stays bullish, then Ethereum, I feel like it's just primed and ready to go. And we've talked before about how our cool down phase here becomes our bottom here, our peak here becomes our middle region here, and so on and so forth. And then if you go forward in time more, you can see the middle. So the middle region is our buy region over here. So as we push our way through the market cycle, we essentially we move up, we retrace, we gather our belongings. We've shown you the expansion and contraction phases of Ethereum. Likely, 2021, maybe 2020 is the last phase of contraction, and you could also think of it as the first phase of expansion, potentially for, say, the next 3 or 4 years. Now, let's talk about the price of Ethereum. And a lot of people like this chart because it just systematically shows you the price of Ethereum when Bitcoin is either above the 20-week moving average or below the 20-week moving average. And note that when Bitcoin is above the 20-week, Ethereum tends to perform well with respect to fiat. And when it's below, it tends to perform not so well. And so this is why I say when Bitcoin's below it, it doesn't mean I don't like Ethereum. It just means that, okay, I convert some of this Ether back to Bitcoin because I have the dream of one day accumulating more Ethereum. And by following the data where it shows you that the price of Ethereum tends to go down when Bitcoin's below the 20-week, this is the reason for that. And right now we're not below the 20-week. I don't want to make anyone think that we are. The 20-week of Bitcoin is around 8,200. I think it's between 82 and 8,300 right now. So that's the key price point to look out for. So keep that in mind. This level is crucial that we need to hold. And even more so to stay super bullish in the short term, if Bitcoin can hold the 8,800 level, that's the 50-week moving average. And we'll talk about that in a second. But first, remember, if you do want access to the premium list with a lot of information, we do cover Ethereum a ton on the premium, on the premium channel, where we have the weekly newsletter and the premium videos and a dashboard with the risk metrics of Bitcoin and Ethereum as well as Cardano. Then please check out the premium list. You can also pay with cryptocurrency if you want to pay for 6 or 12 months with a discount. So we'd love to have you join. And I do take requests from the people on the channel who want to see certain things. Like someone a couple weeks ago was asking, okay, well, can you get hourly data of Bitcoin and mine that, and then tell us, historically speaking, what's the best hour to purchase Bitcoin? And we've looked at that. Maybe this week we'll look at Ethereum. I haven't decided yet, but join the channel, and then you can put in a feature request on the dashboard. We have a Google Sheets doc. You can put in a Google Sheets document. You can put in a feature request, and if there's enough interest, I'll look at it. So please check that out. Again, let's go back here. So we're looking at above the 20-week, below the 20-week. Bitcoin's above it. Ethereum tends to perform well. It doesn't always perform well with respect to Bitcoin. You can see here is a time when, so normally it does. Normally it does perform well with respect to Bitcoin. You can see this move here and this move here. But there is a move in 2019 where we actually lost value with respect to Bitcoin. So you have to remember, Ethereum performs well with respect to fiat when Bitcoin's above the 20-week, and it sometimes does with respect to Bitcoin when Bitcoin's above the 20-week, but not always. So this is a risk you have to take. Now, if you talk about, again, the 20 and the 50-week, so looking at the 20-week, you can see that immediately the valuation of Ethereum with respect to Bitcoin kept going down. If you change this to include above the 20 and the 50, then it's immediately after we started going up, okay? And you can see that, here, this is with respect to fiat, a minute that, once Bitcoin was above the 20-week and the 50-week moving average, we essentially went up for the next several years. Over here, we went up. Again, we retraced. This is just our accumulation period. The thing is we're in the accumulation period until we're not, and at some point we're going to be able to look back and say, okay, this was the accumulation period. Whether it includes our current move and then maybe a move back down, we don't know yet. But what we do know is that in order for Ethereum to really shine, then Bitcoin needs to be shining. And right now, Bitcoin's doing pretty well. So this is why I say keep your eyes on Bitcoin. Now, what's more important, I think, to show, again, is this chart. And we showed this a couple weeks ago, and we said, remember, we're looking for an imminent move from Ethereum with respect to Bitcoin, and it looks like we're slowly starting to move up. And you have to keep watching this ratio. It's possible that we move back up into this region up here over the next several months, as long as Bitcoin stays bullish. And if we see Bitcoin remain at 9 or 10,000, maybe go to 13,000, 14,000 this summer, then certainly Ethereum will likely be there for the ride. And it'll definitely, well, I don't want to say definitely, this is not financial advice, it'll likely increase with respect to fiat. If Bitcoin's going to 14K, then Ethereum's likely going to, between 3 and 400. But if you see Bitcoin go to that level and Ethereum go up as well, then remember that the ratio may or may not go up. But in the short term, it looks like we have started to see a move upwards, and if it's anything like the one we saw earlier this year, then maybe we've just started. Maybe we've just started this move, and we have a lot of upside with respect to the Ethereum-Bitcoin ratio. So again, if you guys like the content, subscribe to the channel. I do like to talk about things from a different point of view, and I like to give you guys the information so that you can use it and do whatever you wish with it. Remember, it's always important to hold Bitcoin in your portfolio as far as I'm concerned. Ethereum is my number 2, okay? The ROI, the potential ROI on Ethereum, I think, is greater than Bitcoin in the next market cycle. But the risk is also greater. So manage your risk. With higher risk, you might see a higher return. But know that it's important to stay grounded. It's important to invest responsibly. You don't just want to go throwing money, chasing money. into a market. We are in our accumulation phase right now with Ethereum, and in a few years, in 2 or 3 years, I imagine that a $200 Ethereum will be a distant memory, and this will be the region where people say, I wish I could have bought more. All right, guys, that'll wrap it up. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.